The Morphin Grid, which is the source of all the power for the Power Rangers, can be represented as a literal grid with Power Ranger color on one axis and then Morpher type on another axis.
How have I never heard someone explain it like this before? It makes so much sense, so I created this rinky-dink little visual to represent the Morphin Grid. The air quality in Ohio sucks. It has been established in Power Rangers canon that if two people use the same morpher at the same time, it'll stress the morphing grid by drawing too much from one location and possibly destroy it. In an episode of Mighty Morphin called The Wild West Rangers, Kimberly travels back in time and she finds Zordon asking him to give her the power coin so she can get a group of people from the past to help her with a problem. He refuses to give her the pink power coin since she already has hers, saying,
"Too much pink energy is dangerous."
Because of time travel, Kim has the exact same power coin as the one that Zordon has, so if she were to give it to another person in the past, they would both be drawing from the exact same location. They reference this episode in the recent Netflix special Power Rangers Once and Always when Kat uses a proxy power coin to morph into the Pink Mighty Morphin Ranger while Kim is already morphed.
Duplicating active powers is very dangerous.
I don't care how dangerous too much pink energy is. Once a ranger,
always a ranger. You can definitely count us in.
I have shown the proxies on my grid as a slightly adjacent location, which is probably still too close for comfort and could cause complications, but is not the same as using the exact same power coin. In my brain, the differing level of risk makes sense if I think about it like coming in contact with yourself in Time Cop, which will destroy both of you, or just making too many copies of yourself in Multiplicity. In Dimensions in Danger, a team-up episode from Power Rangers Ninja Steel, a group of Rangers fight a robot army of clones. However, these robots were created by drawing energy directly from the Rangers and appear to have morphing built into them, as they do not need a morpher to do it.
This copy's gonna kick your butt.
In Blue Ranger Gone Bad, we see Billy and his evil clone fighting over the morpher. When it's activated, they both morph into the Blue Ranger at the same time. Two Rangers drawing energy from one morpher, which is different, I guess, than two morphers drawing energy from the same location. I feel I've determined the only way for them to mess this up is basically time travel, which is bad because Rangers time travel a lot, and all they have to do is find their past or future self and say, "Hey, let's morph together," and the entire grid will unravel. But maybe that will never happen. Back to talking about my little grid that took me forever to put together. Unlike the main Jungle Fury Rangers, the Spirit Rangers don't have morphers, which I would think would put them on a slightly adjacent grid line, much like the proxy power coins to the main Mighty Morphin line. Even if they were tapping into the same line through different sources, I do not think Theo and Master Finn would overlap because there has to be a light blue power. Since the entire Dino Charge team used the same morphers, their two Blue Rangers would break the rule, except for the fact that one is aqua and one is dark blue. This has me wondering, is it not color-coded sexism, but Tori and Madison have been Aqua Rangers this whole time? My childlike grid doodle is obviously a very reductive two-dimensional version of a complex three-dimensional realm. When we get a glimpse of the Morphin Grid in Power Rangers Dino Fury, I would like to imagine that each one of those lights represents an individual ranger's connection to the grid, since there are hundreds of rangers we know about, and even more that we've never seen. I put the Quantum Ranger on the line next to the Time Force team because even though he is the sixth member of their team, the Quantum Morpher was made far before the Chronomorphers. During the season finale of Time Force, Wes uses the Quantum Morpher in tandem with his Chronomorpher without losing his original Ranger ability. This was mostly an effect to give him control over the Q-Rex Zord, but there may have been other added benefits. It's not unheard of for Red Rangers to stack Morphers on top of their original one to gain new abilities. This originates with the Battleizer Morpher, which Andros got in Power Rangers in Space, making him the first Red Ranger to ever don a Battleizer suit. This got me spiraling. Zato morphs using the red Dino Fury key, and when he adds the Dino Night Morpher on top of it, he enters his Battleizer Dino Night mode. And when Tarek uses the Dino Night Morpher on its own, he becomes the Void Knight. So if Eric Myers from Time Force uses what I always assumed was an additional morpher for the Red Ranger to become the secondary Red Ranger, the Quantum Ranger, then would that mean Tarek morphing with the Dino Night Morpher is becoming a second Red Ranger? And the Void Knight is a true Power Ranger. Does that also mean that if Andros were to take the Battleizer Morpher off and give it to someone without morphing ability, who would then activate it, would they become a secondary Red Ranger to the In-Space team? I'm rolling with this. Void Knight's our third official in-show Purple Ranger. I had to put up this screenshot because I am so lost in Power Rangers. This is me trying to Google image search a picture of a Black Ranger. I'm like, Google, don't you know the Power Rangers part is implied? Many people hold to the theory that what it takes to be a Power Ranger is having a morpher and the ability to morph, to which I would bring up the Alien Rangers and the Ninjetti. I say that what makes someone a Power Ranger isn't how they get into their suit, but where they draw their power from. For a long time now, I've theorized that there are multiple kinds of supersuit-wearing individuals called Rangers, each with a different signifier, which allows you to understand where they draw their power from. Power Rangers draw their power from the Morphin Grid. My favorite thing about this theory is that everyone's signifier has to start with the letter P. For instance, the Psycho Rangers and the Phantom Ranger. Okay, people, once and always spoilers, so, get out of here.
Every ranger we capture gives us another boost to the finish line. It's funny, I never believed in their whole teamwork thing, but together they are more.
First of all, I know there are more male rangers than female rangers, but damn, the ladies did well in this fight. They got Nate, Devin, and Ravi, but not Zoe. The Lost Galaxy boys done fucked up, but no Maya Kendricks or Carone. Not a Kira Ford in sight. Okay, this one they got Carlos and Ashley, but Cassie's still out there. Then you got Merrick derping all by his lonesome, and you gotta wonder, what did he fuck up? And in the bottom left corner here, you have James's eternal heartbreak. In my opinion, he is not a Power Ranger. He is a Ranger, not a Power Ranger. I'm sorry, okay? I was wrong. People are wrong sometimes. I would like to lodge a formal apology for any emotional harm I may have caused or any defamation to the name. If Rita is loading Power Rangers into this machine like Matrix batteries to juice it up on Morphin Grid energy and she's put the Phantom Ranger in there, then he is a Power Ranger. In a way, it's kind of nice, because that's just one thing I now don't have to worry about people trying to argue with me about. The Psycho Rangers are still not Rangers, because they draw their power from Dark Spectre, and then when Trakina brings them back, they get it from her ship or from her, or something weird like that. Last, but definitely not least, is Tanya's very sad cameo. She's the only Zeo Ranger, because she's the only one who could be on the Zeo team. Tommy, Kat, and Rocky are all using their Mighty Morphin powers, and Adam ain't doing poo diddly. So is she just out there like Andros when he was the only in-space ranger, sadly fighting the entire world on her own? Or are there 4 new Zeo Rangers? Has Tanya taken 4 younger people under her wing? Because that, Netflix, is the show I want to see. Netflix, Hasbro, get Nakia Baris and show me a miniseries where she trains 4 new Zeo Rangers. Also, this causes a huge problem because now there is absolutely no reason for them to have switched to a turbo.